So the treatment at the level of clinical phenotype, how the patient is appearance. So patient education, enzyme replacement therapy, or if there is any need, then surgical procedures are done. Now treatment at the level of metabolites is done by limiting the substrate of missing enzyme uh, uh, by arranging alternative pathway, or by doing metabolic inhibition through the drugs, or replacement of deficient product, whatever the condition, then we uh, treat at these lines. Treatment at the level of dysfunctional protein, and it is done by activation and induction of enzyme through drugs or protein replacement. Now coming to the organ transplantation, which is done, and there is allogenic bone marrow transplantation, or the liver transplantation is done for these metabolic disorders. And finally, gene therapy, which is in a research stage for hemophilia, for cancer, for Parkinson's, and for severe combined immunodeficiency disease. So you see the history of this IEM. In 1909, IEM was introduced by Garrod, and in 1929, glycogen storage disease was discovered. Identified in 1934, phenylketonuria was identified. In 1935, galactosemia was identified. In 1954, MSUD, that is maple syrup urine disease. In 1962, homocystinuria. In 1963, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, and so on. Now that is the Garrett's tetrad. We have and you know all these conditions. Now disorders of amino acid metabolism, you know all these conditions, but we are just recapitulating. Hyperphenylalanemias, hypertyrosinemias, disorders of histidine metabolism, disorders of proline and hydroxyproline metabolism, hyperornithinemias, disorders of urea cycle, errors of lysine metabolism, disorders of branch chain amino acids and keto acids, disorder of transsulfuration, and non-ketotic hyperglycemia. Now coming to the disorders of organic acid metabolism, these are alkaptonuria, we have discussed, branch chain organic aciduria, we have discussed, propionic aciduria, methyl malonic aciduria, defect in lysine oxidation, gamma glutamyl cycle disorder, lactic acidemias, mitochondrial fatty acid oxidation disorders, oxidative phosphorylation disorders, glutaric acidemia type 2, that is in respiratory chain. Excuse me. So these are the conditions, and you find these metabolic disorders in all the metabolic procedure pathways. So in whatever, it may be carbohydrate, it may be lipid, or it may be amino acids or nucleotides. So we must be aware of these conditions. And coming to detection for a test, why it is important for early detection, why we stress on the prenatal screening and neonatal screening. For number one, for genetic counseling, which is very important. Number two, for subsequent pregnancies, if the couple is having previous pregnancy and any difficulty, any cases, any metabolic disorder in the previous pregnancy, then to plan the subsequent pregnancy. For early termination, if it is diagnosed by mother's serum screening, then early termination is done only if we detect early. For treatment and prevent irreversible changes, that is irreversible mental retardation or death. To avoid precipitating factors such as in porphyrias, we must educate the patient, and the patient must know what are the factors which precipitate the porphyria. To initiate timely symptomatic treatment and for differential diagnosis. You know that undetected cases of IEM leads to permanent mental retardation, and this is the most important concern of this topic. Now, prenatal diagnosis. Prenatal diagnosis is important because the 2% of live births are having genetic defects. And there are other cases which have pregnancy loss, which have perinatal morbidity and mortality. That is why prenatal diagnosis is very important. Now, what are the indications for genetic counseling? There are certain factors for which we prescribe genetic counseling. That is, the age of mother is more than 35. If there is positive maternal serum screening, history of Mendelian disorder, previous pregnancy with chromosomal disorders, family history of mental retardation or birth defect, fetal anomalies, recurrent pregnancy loss or stillbirth, infertility, ethnic-based carrier screening, or consanguinity. Steps for prenatal diagnosis, detailed family history, pedigree analysis, 3 generation history must be taken of miscarriage, neonatal early death, consanguinity, mental retardation, anemia, or congenital anomalies. That is very, very important. Then genetic counseling for diagnosis, for course of disorder, and for management. For diagnosis, we do amniocentesis for enzymatic assay of the cultured amniocytes. The cases with the couple which are having affected child, the one parent is affected by an autosomal or X-linked dominant disorders, carrier testing revealing both parents carrier recessive trait. In these cases, amniocentesis is prescribed. Chorionic villi sampling again in advanced maternal age or in positive molecular markers or biochemical or genetic disorders. And this is important for early diagnosis and early intervention. Uh, this chorionic villi sampling is done because the placenta and fetus having the similar genetic makeup. So chromosomal enzymatic molecular genetic status is the same, and so with chorionic villi sampling we can diagnose the case. Chordosynthesis is done, that is the fetal blood sampling at 20 weeks gestation. Cytogenetics and molecular cytogenetics is done, which needs a invasive techniques, that is FISH, that is done by the microarrays with genomic clones or genetic analysis of fetal cell-free DNA taken from maternal blood to detect chromosomal aneuploidies of chromosomes 13, 18, 21, X and Y. To detect microdeletions, translocations, deletions, inversions, and subtelomeric deletions. So these are the genetic disorders, we must diagnose them. Now coming to the prenatal screening is done with maternal serum screening in first trimester, that is 10 to 12 weeks, measurement of neural translucency with ultrasound and double marker, that is pregnancy associated protein, plasma protein A and beta HCG. And in second trimester, that is in 18 weeks, or it may be done between 16 to 24 weeks, that is ultrasound is done for fetal congenital anomalies, detailed ultrasound, and triple marker is done, that is AFP, alpha fetoprotein, and unconjugated estradiol and beta HCG, or quadruple marker, that is AFP, estradiol, beta HCG, and inhibin, dimeric inhibin A is done. Enzyme assay is done by trophoblast or amniotic fluid cell cultures. And for this, molecular technique is used for abnormality or deficiency of the gene, and biochemical techniques are used for abnormality or deficiency of gene product. And for this, molecular technique is there, that is quantitative reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction, Southern blotting, linkage analysis, or mutation analysis. Now, newborn screening is done for earliest detection, for prevention of consequences. It is done after 48 hours of birth, that and within